there is something that I learned very early. I mean, I was conditioned and taught by society to wait until I was ready, until I was confident, or until it made sense. Wait until I got approval from somebody. I don't even know who, but somebody. Or wait until the timing felt safe. But let me tell you something here. That message, it doesn't show up all at once. No, it is a subtle, layered message. It's taught quietly, actually subconsciously over time, by different people, by parents, mentors, friends. But it is especially taught to girls. From the time I was young, I was praised for being agreeable or polite. I was part of the team, easy to get along with. Don't be too loud or too much. Don't take up too much space. No, don't get me wrong. There were times that I was too loud and maybe a little too much. But for the majority of the time, no. I was slowly, almost invisibly waiting. And it became a part of who I was. It was a virtue, a habit, a part of my personality. Waiting, it made me feel like I was being responsible and mature. It actually made me feel like I was making the smart choice. But nobody told me what waiting would cost me. You know, those I'll do it tomorrow or maybe next time, or I'm just going to wait until I'm ready. I'm just not ready yet. The cost, it wasn't failure, no. No, the cost, it was postponing myself. It was postponing the true me. The price that I paid for waiting was that there were ideas that I never got to speak about. And there were paths that I never got to go down and explore. And how about the confidence that I just never got to build because I never got to practice it? You see, confidence doesn't grow in theory. No, it grows in motion, in action. And action, well, it requires choice. And I think that's where a lot of women and girls get stuck. And I know that's where I got stuck. You see, I wasn't lazy and I wasn't not unmotivated, but I was conditioned. Society conditioned me. They conditioned me to hesitate, to wait. Now, I wasn't told outright, don't try. No, but instead I was told to be careful, or how about be realistic, or be responsible, or make sure you're ready. But I never asked, ready for what? Because the truth is, most of the meaningful things in your life, it doesn't come with the moment when you feel like you're completely, totally ready or prepared. No, you see, confidence, it doesn't just arrive. True confidence, well, the first thing to arrive in true confidence is action. Now, I think that this is one of the greatest misunderstandings. You see, we treat confidence like it's a prerequisite, like it's something you're supposed to have before you even begin. Well, be confident, get in there, just try. But confidence, it's actually the result. That's right, confidence is the end result. It's built after you try something. It's after you mess up and you get back up again and again. After you realize you can survive discomfort, uncertainty, and doubt. It's after you think about the choices that you made and you reflect on those choices that you made and you take those results and you look at them. And then you use your ability to pivot based on those results. That's why I don't ever tell a girl just be confident, because it doesn't work. Telling her to just be confident, like that's going to that it's going to suddenly appear. No, that actually skips the entire process, the whole recipe creation of confidence. Now, I mean, that's exactly why I wrote my book. I keep seeing these girls and women that are fully capable. They're thoughtful, they're intelligent, but they're frozen. It's like they're waiting for permission that they are never going to get. They're waiting for certainty, and it's never coming. They aren't lacking confidence. What they're lacking is the framework to build their confidence. It isn't a personality trait. It is a skill set, and it is learned. And when girls aren't taught how confidence is built, well, their default is to wait. You see, waiting, it feels safer than risking being wrong. And it feels a lot safer than standing out. And it feels safer than disappointing someone. But here's the part that matters. You see, waiting, it doesn't protect confidence. It prevents it. Confidence is built through three things happening over and over again. First, there comes the grit, the courage to try even when fear is present, especially when fear is present, or if you're just curious. But it's that grit, and it's the first ingredient in the recipe to confidence. The next one is the ability to keep going after you doubt yourself or after you fail. You get back up. You learn that failure, it's part of the recipe. And when you think that way, it creates a whole new mindset. Instead of thinking of failing and wanting to quit, you change your mindset, realizing that, hey, I knew failure was going to happen. It's part of the recipe. And I'm just one step closer to my goal because of that failure. The choice to continue to get back up while being true to yourself, that second ingredient in the recipe is moxie. And the third ingredient, my favorite ingredient, is the ability for critical thinking. You need to think about what actually matters versus what just feels loud or urgent. Oh, we live in a world today that critical thinking is crucial. And I think I'm the only one really talking about it as being a part of building confidence, that it's an important ingredient to building confidence. You see, without these skills, hesitation, it takes over, slowly becomes a part of your identity. You're saying, I'm not ready, I'm not confident enough, I'm not sure. Those statements, they feel honest, but more often than not, it's just learned. Those thoughts are learned from years of being rewarded for being cautious, from watching others take a risk while you're told that stay safe. And you're also prioritizing the approval of others. For what? And this is why I don't teach girls to be fearless, because fear is not the problem. The problem is when fear becomes the decision maker. You see, confidence doesn't mean that fear disappears. It means that fear no longer runs the show. And that's a skill, a teachable one. This is also why I created the workbook alongside my book, because confidence, it just can't be explained. It has to be practiced. You see, girls need space to reflect, to make small choices, to test their voice, to learn how to recover when things don't go the way that they hoped. They don't need more pressure. They need clarity. And sometimes they just need reminders. Not those motivational slogans. Just reminders that confidence grows by doing, not waiting. So here's the hard truth. The biggest risk isn't getting it wrong. It's letting your life be shaped by hesitation, by waiting. It's letting another person's comfort dictate your choices. And it's letting someday quietly replace now. That is a cost we rarely talk about. And it's one I'm not interested in passing on. I want girls to understand that confidence it's just not about having every day figured out. It's about trusting yourself enough to move forward anyway. It's about thinking, choosing, and adjusting. That's how confidence grows. Not loudly, not perfectly, but honestly. And if this resonates with you, whether you're a woman recognizing your own patterns or you're someone raising a girl you care deeply about, well, this is exactly the conversation my work is meant to start. Not to push, not to rush, but to stop waiting for confidence and start building it. Because the quiet cost of postponing your life, well, that's too high of a price to pay.